Theme parks have rides and roller coasters that take up a certain plot of land. When the park runs out of space and wants to build a new attraction, they have to figure out which rides they are willing to sacrifice for this new attraction. And I wanted to take a look at this evolution with many different examples. This is Plow. Buena Park, 1976. A family-owned theme park decides to open a brand new prototype family coaster from American manufacturer Aero Development. Motorcycle Chase is added to the new Roaring Twenties area of the park and becomes the first of 2 steeplechase rides to be sold. This one in particular featured 4 dueling single-rail tracks which took a maximum of 6 riders per track through weaving turns and dips. Additionally, it included tilts in the ride vehicles during turns that added to the overall experience. However, by 1979, safety concerns had started to arise. The non-restrictive strap restraints combined with the high center of gravity of the ride vehicles convinced park officials to remodel for the 1980 season. The top speed of the ride was dropped from 40 miles to 30 miles per hour, and new trains resembling Soapbox cars were added along with a new theme. Thus, Wacky Soapbox Racers was born. This version of the ride would take 2 riders per track through a family-friendly experience featuring immersive 2D facades and even a crash door effect. With its unique neon light signs and charming characters by each facade riders would pass by, Wacky Soapbox Racers became a fan favorite at the park. However, 20 years of service was enough time for the racers' special effects and sets to become worn out. By 1996, the ride was a barren wasteland compared to its former glory. Moreover, the park sorrowfully bid farewell to this classic. While the closure of Wacky Soapbox Racers was unfortunate, its plot of land would not stay empty for long. In 1996, Knott's Berry Farm decided to revamp the Roaring Twenties area into a California culture-themed area called the Boardwalk. The park also worked swiftly to build a high-level thrill ride in place of the racers. This would be a part of the looping mouse model from Japanese manufacturer Togo. And on March 26, 1997, Windjammer Surf Racers opened to the public. This looping mouse was not like the others due to its dueling tracks as well as its Californian theming such as the lifeguard tower at the beginning of the ride. A maximum of 8 riders would board each train and head up the 69-foot tall lift hills. These would help the trains achieve a top speed of 40 miles per hour off the first drop into the dueling vertical loops. The rest of the layout consisted of various sprawling twists and turns. It is in the finale of the ride where both trains would alternate one more time in a helix which would give off a whirlwind sensation before all 16 riders would hit the brakes. While this does seem like a solid extreme level thrill ride with some immersive theming, it wasn't all sunshine and coasters. Within the first week of operation, the trains were found to be fatigued while the restraints were found to be defective. Additionally, the bulky over-the-shoulder restraints were the cause of unbearable amounts of headbanging. It couldn't even run in winds over a few miles per hour. As for the ride's defining feature, it dueled about as much as Twisted Colossus. On top of the trains being susceptible to valley on the mid-course and multiple track connections being misaligned, Windjammer Surf Racers was a disaster from the start, and it only lasted until 2000 before it was shut down permanently. Following its closure, Knott's Berry Farm sued Togo for $16 million in damages. Up until the disaster that was Windjammer, Togo's American offices were quite prosperous from their installations such as Ultra Twister at Six Flags Great Adventure. However, their failure to deliver a half-decent attraction to Knott's dragged their reputation down under the earth. While the lawsuit was rejected, Togo never recovered, and they filed for bankruptcy in 2001. To immediately put the catastrophe of Windjammer Surf Racers behind them, Knott's decided to pair up with Swiss manufacturer Intamin to build a prototype launch coaster. This new model would use hydraulic fluids to launch riders at unprecedented accelerations. And on June 22, 2002, Xcelerator opened to the public. Themed to the iconic 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air, this ride accelerates from 0 to 80 miles per hour in 2.2 seconds, which completely torches the acceleration of the car it's themed around. But how does the hydraulic launch itself actually work? Before the launch, a catch car latches onto the train. While riders board the train, hydraulic fluid is gradually accumulated in the chambers via hydraulic pumps. When the launch is all set, the energy is quickly released and a large wheel sends the train and catch car flying down the launch track. This method is what allows for some of the fastest roller coaster accelerations of all time and was later used on attractions such as the world's tallest roller coaster, King Ka. Following this powerful launch is a 205-foot tall top hat and 2 high-speed overbanked turns before passengers hit the brakes. While this coaster would suffer from frequent downtime as it was the prototype, it more than made up for it in terms of packing an adrenaline-filled ride for everyone on board. At least, when it was open. Xcelerator continued to operate normally until one fateful day. September 15th, 2009, 12-year-old Kyle Wheeler and his father board the front row of Xcelerator oblivious of what is about to ensue. During the launch sequence, the cable used to launch riders experienced fatigue and snapped. This sent the cable hurtling towards the train, which shattered the fiberglass on the front of the ride vehicle. The glass lacerated the left leg of Wheeler, and both him and his father were sent to the hospital. After multiple surgeries, Kyle eventually recovered and regained the ability to walk. The Wheeler family also won an undisclosed amount of money from a lawsuit against the park. Failure to execute proper maintenance was the primary cause of the accident, and the park as well as the manufacturer were to blame. Xcelerator eventually reopened and continued operation without any other accidents. It even got a repaint in late 2021 to a vibrant multicolor palette. However, the ride unexpectedly shut down in March of 2022. This was due to parts of the launch as well as the brake units requiring repairs and extended maintenance. This extended maintenance would keep Xcelerator silent until August 2023 when reports of trains testing began to surface. And in November of 2023, Xcelerator softly reopened to the public. To this day, this adrenaline rush of a roller coaster continues to thrill any visitors that dare to ride it. So in summary, this plot of land in Knott's Berry Farm has seen continuous development and improvement over the past few decades. From soapbox car competitions to brain-bashing failures to insane intensity inducers, this is probably the most diverse history of a single plot of theme park land that I've ever seen. And with the merger of Cedar Fair and Six Flags, it will be interesting to see what park officials will use this piece of land for in the future. So that's about it. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Plow. If you would like me to uncover more of the most intriguing pieces of land in theme parks across the globe, feel free to stay tuned for more installments in the series coming soon. Signing off for now, this has been Storm, and I'll see you coaster lovers next time.